Hey, what's up? It's Vince Leo from vinceleo.com, and I'm hanging out with Sophie Uliano today.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good. Thrilled to be here. I'm glad that you said my name in the right way, because you're Italian.
Well, you know, that's part of the gig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you don't know Sophie, you definitely want to check her out. I'll link her channel in the description box below. But she has produced amazing content for years, and I've actually been a big fan of yours. So it's an honor to have you here on the channel, where you've really just empowered people of like women, but people in general, of, you know, getting rid of any toxins and chemicals in their life. And you started off as an environmentalist. Mm-hmm. So I'd love for you to share your story and to share how that kind of progressed to you going plant-based and living more of a whole foods lifestyle and incorporating all your Gorgeous for Green content into that as well.
Okay, that's a long video. Oh my God. All right, so I'm going to try.
Notes.
Yeah, cliff notes. I'm going to do serious, quick cliff notes here. So, yes, I started off as an environmentalist way back when I was a yoga teacher. I really started learning about a lot about the environment and worked with various environmentalists, and I became very impassioned about what we were doing to the environment and really understood the connection between whatever we do to the environment we actually do to ourselves. There is no separation. Everything is interconnected. But I also realized, and this was like 10 years ago, that I had to make it accessible and attractive and doable for absolutely everybody, because at the time when you mentioned green living or whatever, it really conjured up a kind of compost toilet or a, do you know what I mean, or hemp sandals. It really wasn't attractive to women that I hung out with. They'd literally, you could see them drifting off and it would be like, oh God, here she goes. So I wrote a book called Gorgeously Green, and I thought that it was going to be sold, I'd sell it at the farmer's market, at my local farmer's market from the back of my car. But as fortune had it, all the planets lined up and it got on Oprah. So it had the Oprah effect, it became a bestseller. And the great thing about that, Vince, was that I managed to reach women across America that I never would have reached, and really inspired them to just take small, easy, tiny actions to be more mindful and to take care of our planet. So then, that was where my brand, Gorgeously Green, and my channel, Gorgeously Green, was created. But fast forward, I want to fast forward a good 5 years, that I still ate meat. And I have to admit, I'm a bit embarrassed to say, because now I don't think you can I cannot call myself an environmentalist and eat meat. The two things don't go together. And I kind of knew that, but I was a little bit like, la, 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 because I was raised to eat meat, and I thought that I was doing all the kind of organic, I'm going to say organic meat, humanely reared, grass-fed, and I'm putting it in air quotes because a lot of those things now I really know behind the label, and they really don't mean an awful lot. Certainly things like free range and cage-free mean absolutely nothing. And so one thing led to another. As we do, we sort of tend to evolve, and I couldn't, the voice got louder. It just got louder in my head that I can't, you know, understanding that our rainforest, or what little is left, is now being cut down at such an alarming rate for no other reason than cattle production to feed the planet's growing demand for beef. And so I just, from that point of view, it's like, no, I can't be part of this anymore. Also, from an ethical and animal cruelty point of view, I'd started to see enough factory farms and do all of that research that I couldn't, basically beginning to look at a piece of animal flesh on my plate, I just saw misery and suffering and abject fear, and I couldn't do that anymore. So it was almost like then Vince, because it was all came at me from all angles, then I studied to become a nutritionist. And from a nutritionist point of view, the final penny dropped of, not only do I not need to eat that animal misery on my plate in order to get the nutrients I need, but in the business that I'm in as a health coach, which is to hopefully prevent disease or even reverse disease, I'm better off getting rid of all of that from my diet. So that's what led me to becoming, that was much longer. Yawn, people are like, fast forward. But anyway, that was my journey. And now I've been whole food plant-based for almost 5 years, have more energy than I had 20 years ago, clearer skin than I've ever had in my life, balanced hormones, ideal weight, maintained, don't even have a pair of scales anymore, and on and on and on. So
That's
it's
amazing.
just like, I feel amazing.
That's amazing. And it's great to hear the stories of how you transition, because a lot of people, they think like they have to make the change overnight.
Yeah.
And they don't realize it is a process that people go through. And it's great to hear it from your perspective of how you transition from environmental to just educating yourself about the nutrition aspect and everything else, and how you just came full circle. So thank you so much for joining me and sharing your story today.
Well, it's a joy. And you know what? I will say that I think you are so right, and you've hit upon a very important point, that I think if for me anyway, if I do things all in, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna, it's that kind of diet mentality,
Yeah.
which you can then sort of set yourself up to fail, because
Yeah.
you think, right, I'm never gonna eat another piece of meat again, and then something happens, and you travel, and you have some cheese, or whatever. So I really would caution you to not necessarily, it's sort of 10 steps forward and 5 steps back. You know, and as Vince said, it's a slow evolving situation. And for me, because it was slow, it's so real when I actually suddenly went, oh, I'm not, that's it. I'm kind of, I think I went from maybe eating meat once a week to once a month to like you fish. And then it was like, actually, I don't need it at all. So.
Yeah, fish was the last thing I gave up, and I think that's so important, because when people try to go all in, then you make a mistake. It's like, well, I messed up. I might as well go back to
throw the
doing
towel and don't
what I
care.
did
Yes,
before.
exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's great to hear. So I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
So make sure you subscribe to her channel and check out all her books. I'll link all that in the description box below. And remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. And remember to keep living fit from food and gorgeously green. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.